May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly market forecast. This is the gold. Gold. We're looking at gold. Now, we're looking at the 3 month or 1 quarter. All right. 1 quarter time frame. All right. That's 3 months. Each candle represents 3 months. And I've been saying it's been bullish for the longest because it's going on an incredible run. All right. Since this low, actually, let's put it at this low of October 2022. All right. And then in April of 2024, you can see there was a break here in July, where in April it broke through, but it pulled back within the high, right? Took the high and then did not trade through. But then we saw the trade through in the next quarter, which is July, right? Of 2024. It's been historically moving since, like in a parabolic move. All right. You can also see here there is between this high and this low. You can see that the market moved in a way where there was an imbalance left behind. This is nothing but bulls, nothing but buyers taking place here. Price usually likes to pull back into these areas and mitigate the area, give offer fair value, and then move up and then continue to move higher. But that didn't happen this way. This is ended up being looking like a breakaway gap. Excuse all the stammering and stuttering. All right, we're looking like a breakaway gap where the market doesn't seem to want to come back to it. It's just continuing higher in this parabolic move. Been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Uh, I'm looking at the market continuing bullish. Let's go to the monthly. We can see here's uh, that quarterly fair value gap here, right? That I just pointed out. I was looking for the market to come back and tap that fair value gap. We missed it by a few points, but it did reach back, but it didn't come back and mitigate the quarter fair value gap. Came close. Then you see the market pushed up higher, and I was looking at this wick, and I said, if the market closes past that wick, if the market closes past that wick, the halfway mark of this wick, we can anticipate that the market will continue higher towards all-time highs. All right, especially that old high here. Well, look at this market. This is the how February ended. Okay, this is how February ended. This is the February candle, and it closed past that halfway mark, so we can anticipate the market continuing higher. All right, this is a very strong bullish close, showing a lot of bullish momentum. Right, this is the weekly candles, uh, bullish close, bullish close, bullish close, but this is kind of like bullish neutral because it's moving kind of sideways. Yeah, it did take the high. It did take the high here, right? And then it didn't quite get to the high here, but it still had a bullish close. All right, it's just moving sideways. But last week, look at that close, very strong to the upside. Last week, if you remember, if you'll kindly let me uh, uh, remind you, all right. I said bullish, look for valid buys. And the previous weekly video before that, bullish, neutral, wait for valid buys, long, buy long setups. Wait for valid buy, long setups only, really. That's what I should have said. Doesn't look like good English here, but that's beside the point. The point is, I've been pushing bulls, I've been pushing buys, and you should have been in buys, right? If you go to the daily, what are we looking at? You see how Friday closed? All right, Friday broke the open of this bearish candle here. All right, right at the same level. So what am I saying here? All right. First of all, let me step back a second. I pointed out this ascending triangle last week. All right. And I said we can see a buy pushing up higher. This was Monday's candle. All right. I was looking for price to quite possibly pull back to the breakout area of the ascending triangle and pushing up higher. That's exactly what it ended up doing, taking out that high on for February 24th, right? This was Tuesday's high. Took out that high and then pulled back to the open of that candle. All right. This is going to form an area of fair value, considering that we are looking at tensions in the Middle East with Iran, between Iran, US, and Israel. And when missiles are flying, gold goes flying as well. I'm looking for a gap up opening and pushing up towards this. What is that? 5,354. I'm looking at price pushing up towards that. Yeah, and quite possibly higher. All right, but for this week, this would be my target if I can get in a buy, a proper buy situation here at that level. All right, if we go to the 4 hour, can we see something? I already said this. I already mentioned that. All right, and we don't need the triangle as much anymore. All right, I want you to notice that there was a 4 hour fair value gap here that the market pushed into and used for higher prices. All right, making higher lows, protecting that low. All right, and once we broke this high, once we broke that high, we may see price pull back and test the breakout area, test the breakout area to pull up higher. It may just gap up and shoot all the way to that high. We may see that earlier than we normally would, because there's a lot of, when you have missiles flying, things move. There's a lot of volatility introduced into the market, right? So right where this bearish order block is where I would love to take my first TP. All right, and if I can get in at this level, somewhere around this level, which is the breakout area 5268. All right, if I can get in somewhere around there, I would love to take this up towards these highs. If the market does come all the way back and touch this uh, bullish fair value gap, that would be even better. That would be even better. But I doubt if it comes that far. We may see a pullback towards this high, uh, the high that broke this high. Just kind of swept it. If we get that high there, which is at 5278, uh, we may see a buy model set up for that. But it's all buys in this market. Should not be looking at sells, especially with tensions flying. We may get past this in a nice manner, a nice short term manner. That'd be great. I doubt it. All right, because there's instability in the Middle East, and there's a lot of there's a bunch of areas to consider. All right, what the Syrian regime. All right, there's instability there. There's instability with Iran. There's instability uh, because of the vacuum of leadership being that's that's currently the case with Hamas leadership being taken out, and Hezbollah leadership being taken out, and all, and the wars and stuff. There's a lot of instability in leadership around this area, and then we have the latest with Iran and the Ayatollah being taken out along with military heads. This is this is instability. The vacuums have to be filled, and it's not going to be something that can be done in a week. You understand? This is going to probably play out for weeks and months. All right, and that's going to lead to gold and silver going up higher. But that's where my fundamental analysis stops, and that's when I start looking at the technicals, and I'm looking for prices to push higher. All right, once we hit this high, I'll be looking at this high here. All right, at 54.76, and then the all-time highs here at 56.30. All right. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. May profits be upon you.